morning, students. Welcome to chemistry class. Today we are going to start with chapter S block elements. Various topics which we are going to study in this video are: number 1 is introduction of S block elements, and then we will study group 1 elements, that is alkali matters, their electronic configuration and physical properties. All the elements in the periodic table have been classified into 4 types, or we can say 4 blocks. That is your S block, then this is your P block, then afterwards this is your D block, and this one is your F block. And this classification is done on the basis of the nature of the atomic shell into which the last electron enters. Now, as we are going to discuss about S block elements in this video, so let me show you this S block element is present at the extreme left of the periodic table. As we know that the capacity of NS energy shell is 2, it can accommodate maximum of 2 electron. So you can see here 2 groups are there in S block element, that is your group number 1 and group number 2. The general electronic configuration of group 1 is NS1 and that of group 2 is NS2. Various elements which are present in group 1 are hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. And already I have discussed their general valence shell electronic configuration is NS1. Now I'll be taking electronic configuration of the elements in group 1. First is hydrogen. We know atomic number of hydrogen is 1. So the electronic configuration is 1s1. Atomic number of lithium is 3. So the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s1. Atomic number of sodium is 11. So the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. Potassium atomic number is 19. So the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1. Now students, all these are the elements of group 1. And I have already discussed that their valence shell electronic configuration is NS1. So you can see the same in the electronic configuration. There is 1 electron in the valence shell. And when we are moving down the group, so what is there? The number of shell increases. The number of shells increases, and you can see that the elements which are present in the same group, they have same number of electron in the valence shell. So I hope it is clear. Now moving towards the next topic. Students, we know that group 1 elements are called alkali metals. But now the question is why? Why group 1 elements are known as alkali metal? Actually, when elements of group 1 reacts with water, they form alkaline solution. You can see here reaction. Sodium reacts with water to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. So here your sodium hydroxide is a alkali. Alkali are the water soluble bases, and these are the hydroxide compounds of metals such as sodium and potassium. Now a very important point I want to mention here is, we know that hydrogen is a part of group 1. It is placed in group 1, but it is not considered as alkali metal because it does not exhibit the same property which is exhibited by the other matters which are present in the group 1. And as we know, hydrogen is a gas, it is not a metal. And just because of the similar valence shell electronic configuration, hydrogen is placed in group 1. Now we will discuss about physical properties of alkali metals. Alkali metals are silvery white solids. The silvery luster of alkali metal is due to the presence of highly mobile electron in the metallic lattice. When freshly cut, these metals have bright luster, but if metal is kept in air for a long time, then brightness fades away quickly. Now why it happened actually? Alkali metals are highly reactive When kept in air, metal form a thin layer of oxide, carbonates or sulfide on their surface by the slow action of various gases which are present in the air and responsible for the disappearance of the brightness of that metal. Alkali matters are soft and can be cut with knife. So students, if question is there, name any two soft matters which can be cut with knife. So we can give example of sodium and potassium because these are the alkali metal. These are in group 1 and we have just mentioned that alkali matters are soft and can be cut with knife. Now why actually? What is the reason actually? Alkali matters have large atomic size with only one valence electron. When we talk about a particular period or respective period, so alkali matters are having large atomic size in their respective period. So now due to one valence electron, they have weak metallic bonding. So due to the presence of weak metallic bonding, alkali matters are soft and can be cut with a knife. Alkali matters have largest atomic size or we can say atomic radii in their respective period. And when we move down the group, atomic size or we can say atomic radii increases. You can see here, when we are moving down the group, the atomic radii is increasing. Why? Because when we move down the group, the number of shells increases. Now, as cation is concerned, see here, the radii of lithium is 1.52 and that of cation is less. Same here, of sodium is 1.86 and that of the cation formed from sodium is 0.95 only. So, the radii of cation is less as compared to that of the parent atom. Why? Because cation is formed by the loss of electron, that we know. Now, in cation, the positive charge on the nucleus will be acting on the lesser number of electrons as compared to the parent atom. So it means size will be less. So yes, cation has smaller size than the parent atom. But the trend, when we talk about trend, like what happened to the ionic radii? So the trend still remains same. When we move down the group, the ionic radii also increases. Ionization energy. Alkali matters have lowest ionization energy in the respective period. Already I have discussed that alkali matters have largest size in their respective period. It means as compared to the other elements present in the same period, alkali matters have weak attraction between the nucleus and the electron which is present in the valence shell. So which means they have low ionization energy. So we can say that alkali matters are highly electropositive in nature. Now, when we move down the group from lithium towards cesium, ionization energy decreases. Why? Because when we move down the group, atomic size increases. Because when we are moving down the group, the number of shells increases. So the attraction between nucleus and the electron which is present in the valence shell decreases. So ionization energy also decreases. Now the next is oxidation state of group 1 elements. Alkali metal shows oxidation state of +1 in their compounds. Already I have discussed electronic configuration of group 1 elements and we know that they have journal electronic configuration NS1, means there is one electron in the outermost shell. Now, as one electron is there in the outermost shell and we have just discussed that they have low ionization energy. So, by losing that one electron which is present in the valence shell, they can have stable electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas or inert gas. So, that's why your alkali metals show oxidation state +1. Hydration energy. The energy released when 1 gram mole of an ion is dissolved in water to get hydrated. Now, smaller the cation, greater is the degree of its hydration hydration. Basically, hydration is an exothermic process, and if the size of the cation is small, so means hydration energy which is released will be more. Now, when we move from lithium ion towards cesium, the degree of hydration decreases. So, hydration energy decreases when we move from lithium towards cesium. Already I have discussed that alkali matters are electropositive due to low ionization energy. So we can say that alkali matters have low electronegativity. Next is alkali matters are good conductors of heat and electricity. This is due to the presence of loosely held electron in the valence shell, which is free to move and is responsible for the conduction of heat and electricity. Alkali matters and their salts impart a characteristic color to the flame. Lithium crimson red, sodium golden yellow, potassium pale violet, rubidium violet, and cesium bluish. Now what is the reason why they impart color to the flame? Actually, the energy of the flame causes excitation of the electron which is present in the valence shell. Now, on returning to the original position, when this electron will come back to its original position, it will give out the energy which was absorbed in the visible region and is responsible for imparting color to the flame. So students, we have discussed the physical properties of group 1 elements. Revise the same. Thank you so much.